Good morning. Welcome to another IGTV episode. Today, I want to spend some time walking you through my Charlotte's Web Literature Notebooking Unit Study and giving you a look at this unit study so that you can decide if this is something well in your home school. So, the the notebooking unit study is a pretty hefty book. There's 117 pages. I know you can't really see from the part of the screen that I have shared, but there are 117 pages here full of activities that go along with Charlotte's Web. And the literature unit study covers several main academic subjects. It's going to cover your literature and language arts, and these are some of the different topics covered under that category of literature, language, arts. And then it also covers history, social studies by looking at the 1950s and specifically life on a farm. And then it covers some science topics like spiders and pigs and food from the farm to the table. So, those are the three main academic areas that are covered in this unit Charlotte's Web. So, I also give you a book and resource list. There are a good many books. Many of these you can get from your library. And what I usually do when I'm doing a literature unit study like this, and I know I'm going to need these certain books for the study, I will go to my library's interlibrary loan page online and I'll search for the books and request them. Even if the library has them available right then, you can still add them to your request, at least on my library's website you can. And that way you can just go to the library and they'll have all these books nice and ready for you and you can pick them all up at one time. And if they didn't have them available at your library, they can pull them from other libraries with the interlibrary loan system. Some of these can also be purchased on Amazon. I like to look for used books on Amazon because a lot of times you can find some really good deals. Some used books are as inexpensive as paying like $1 for the book and then paying for shipping. But there's a book list that's going to tell you the different books that I reference throughout this unit study. And of course, the main one you need is Charlotte's Web. The other books are kind of flexible. You can pick and choose the ones that look like they'll fit your family the best or the ones that you can find easily from the library. There are a few other resources. There's some website links, and I do try to make sure that this literature unit study is updated regularly to make sure that the links I have in it work. So there are a few website links, and there are some versions of Charlotte's Web for younger children. So there is a suggested schedule. Note the word suggested because we're homeschoolers and we're flexible. And this is just a suggestion of how you might be able to use this literature notebooking unit study and how you cover the book throughout the study. If you follow this schedule, it can take you about 11 weeks to complete the literature notebooking unit study. And each day's activities will probably take you about an hour if you follow this format. Now, if you're using this as a supplemental study, maybe you have another primary curriculum, but you're going to just use this literature notebooking unit study as a supplement, then you could easily change it to only using it a few days a week and combining some of these things and adapting the schedule to work for you. So there are narration pages that children can use to write a written narration out for each chapter. Now, if you have younger kids, there's also a section that they can use to draw a narration because maybe they're not going to write it out in words, but they're going to draw a picture of what happened in the chapter. And then you could even have them dictate to you the narration. You could write it on the lines for them. So there are a lot of different ways that you can use this. Especially if you're just getting started with doing some narration. Also, a section with discussion questions So your narration is going to cover basic comprehension. So these questions are not just basic comprehension questions of who did what or what was said. These are for discussion, for deeper discussion. These are thinking questions. So after you get the basics down with the narration, then you can go a little bit deeper with these discussion questions. And there are discussion questions for every chapter in the book. One of my favorite things about reading aloud and doing literature unit studies is this discussion, because this is where kids start making connections with what they're reading to other things that they have read, or to situations in their own life, or to their own feelings and responses. After the discussion questions, there are vocabulary words for each chapter. You can print these out on cardstock if you would like to, because that'll make them last a little bit longer. But you can print them out, cut them out, and then on the back, as you go through this each chapter, kids can write the definition on the back of the cards, and then you can use these cards as a review. You can use them to play vocabulary games. There are a lot of things that you can do to review these vocabulary words as you go through the book. Each chapter is going to have some activities that you're going to do, and here's where the notebooking comes in. Although, of course, you can put the narration pages from each chapter into your binder as well. But this section has different activities for each chapter, and some of these activities have a notebooking page that goes along with the activity. So the chapter activities are all listed in this section, and then in the section following are the notebooking pages. You'll know that there is a notebooking page when you see the activities that have a little star, like this one here beside plot chart. So the activity is going to be explained, and then if there's a notebooking page to go along, there's also a little star to let you know that, so that you can go to the next section of this study and find those notebooking pages. Some of the activities for each chapter have unit studies, again, have links throughout the unit study. And again, I try to update this regularly to make sure that these unit study links are working, to make sure that the pages that I mean for them to go to are still there. So I try to keep that updated regularly, and when there is an update, you'll be notified so that you can download the newest update when that happens. So there are these activities for each chapter, and then I'm going to kind of fast forward so that you can take a look at some of the notebooking pages. In this section are the notebooking pages that go with every one of the chapter activities that had a star. And so here's a look at just a few of the notebooking pages, and I'm going to zoom out so that you can see each one a little better, the whole page. So here's the plot chart. This is one of the main ongoing activities that you're going to fill in as you read the book. There are a few pages with character analysis of different characters, and you're going to continue those as you read the story. There's a timeline that you're going to continue as you read the story. And there's all kinds of different notebooking pages. Some are just this style where kids are going to list things, write some pictures, draw some pictures, where kids might write a short story and draw a picture to illustrate. There are some diagrams and graphic organizers throughout the notebooking pages. Just a variety. As you're reading, kids are recording information, but they're not just recording it by taking notes. They're doing more with the information, so that when you're through, you have this nice notebook of activities all based on Charlotte's Web. So that is an overview of Charlotte's Web. And if you are interested in this literature notebooking unit study, you can find it at the link in my Instagram bio.